So I was in awe of most of them, whether it is Shah Rukh Khan or Farah Khan, and then getting an opportunity to work with them. Obviously, for a guy like me, it was a huge thing at that point in time. I also don't consider them to be those films to be my mistakes because they happened at a time when I was extremely new to the industry. Yes, it might have hampered a couple of things in my career. जब posters release करने थे तो उन्होंने कहा कि इसके चेहरे को देख के कौन आएगा थिएटर में, तो इसका चेहरा मत दिखाओ, इसका चेहरा ऐसे कर दो.
For you to go through that time period between any two successes, how was that like?
Well, it was extremely difficult, extremely frustrating, and you start doubting yourself. You start questioning a lot of things. कि यार मैंने ऐसी क्या गलती कर दी. From there, where producers and directors doubted whether you would be able to do comedy or not, to a point where you're known only for your comedy films. Has been a long journey, but yes, at the same time you tend to get a little typecast in those things.
Was there ever a time in between where you had to kind of think about where the next paycheck is gonna come from?
Yes, absolutely, and I think most actors have gone through that. You start thinking about you start doubting whether you are in the right profession, whether you should do something else.
But is there anything happening on Golmaal 5?
We wouldn't be surprised if there is Simba also, and Joy and Roy from Circus also joining into the Golmaal series. So that'll be great fun.
His smile has made us laugh, his charm has made us swoon, and his acting talent has made us feel inspired and admire him a lot. I'm very happy and excited as I am joined today by Shreyas Talpade, and please join me as I welcome him to Bollywood Bubble. Firstly, Shreyas sir,
namaste.
I forgot to say this time laughter machine. I think the OTT thing got to me. But again, I'll say that he is a laughter machine, and I'm very excited today for having this conversation with you. So firstly, Shreyas sir, like almost 2 decades into the industry, firstly, what has been the biggest takeaway for you from this whole journey?
Wow. I guess, I don't know, probably takeaway would be the right word to use, because the journey is still on. And every day, is a new day. Every day there's a new challenge. And I think the best thing is, if there are no challenges, then there is no journey. So the best part about our industry is the uncertainty, because it keeps you on your toes, and it makes you, keep working, keep bettering yourself, keep improving on whatever you've done, and you cannot keep resting on past laurels. So Iqbal था, हो गया, ओम शांति ओम हो गया, गोलमाल हो गया, कौन प्रवीण तांबे हो गया. You have to move on, keep working towards bettering yourself. So I think the biggest takeaway for me is the enormous love that I have received from people across the world. And for someone who comes from a humble middle class background with no film connects whatsoever, to reach up till here and still being there. We've seen a lot of people come and go, right? I mean, but one principle or one thing that I've followed all my life is that if you want to score a century, then the first and foremost rule is stay on the pitch. So you just have to be there on the pitch. Yeah, there are going to be certain dot balls, but also at the same time you will get certain balls which you can hit for a 4 or a 6. So I think you just have to be patient and be extremely disciplined about what you do.
And I'm so happy you used all these cricket references. Now it seems very suited to you, considering where you started and the last the project that you did. Like cricket seems like a part of your life.
Absolutely, and I think it's easier to understand. You can relate with those things because you've grown up with that sport. At one point in time, you were thinking very seriously about getting into that sport. Right from the time where you are not good at it, you are considered a loser in that sport, to getting better at that sport, to doing films, and 2 films in a career span of whatever 18 years now in Hindi film industry. So technically my first film and my last film till date are both cricket films, and both have worked fantastically, one at the box office and one on the OTT platform. So yes, I guess it makes sense for me to have references also which are related to cricket.
And I'm also very glad you mentioned the films, na? Iqbal, Om Shanti Om, Kaun Pravin Tambe. Like all these films have had a very big role in establishing who you are today.
Yeah.
But the gap between those films is the most difficult part to deal with
Yeah.
for you, because successes everyone notices and then everyone congratulates you on it and everyone is kind of behind you. But in between, when the phase is not as good, it's then when the support counts. For you to go through that time period between any two successes, how was that like?
Well, it was extremely difficult, extremely frustrating, and you start doubting yourself. You start questioning a lot of things. कि यार मैंने ऐसे क्या गलती कर दी, मैंने ऐसे क्या मैं ऐसे क्या गलत कर रहा हूँ कि ऐसा हो रहा है. But it's part and parcel, ये चीज़ें हर एक के लाइफ में हुई है. And then you look at some past examples also, and then you look at some legendary people, like I've been a huge fan of Bachchan Saab, like most of us have been, and even he has gone through such a rough patch in his career, and now look at him when he has bounced back. He's bounced back with greater force, greater energy, and even till date, his hunger to perform has been intact. So you look at those examples, and then you feel, again, you go back to the same rule that you've been following, that just be patient, just be disciplined, just keep doing your work. And of course, there is going to be a time which will change in your favor. I mean, similar thing happened with someone like Sachin Tendulkar. We consider him to be god of cricket. But even he has had his time when, probably he must have doubted. So many people doubted his ability and his class. But then he worked on it and he bounced back. So yes, the bottom line is we just have to keep working on it. But those times, if your family or your support system is not strong enough, then it can really break you, and then it can really take you to a point of no return also, maybe, but luckily for me, my family, especially my wife, has always had more faith in me than I have had in myself. So she is the one who keeps pushing me and telling me that, don't forget that you are the same guy who came out of nowhere and did a film like Iqbal. So now when I look back, I said, yeah, I mean, we came out of nowhere and we did a Kaun Pravin Tambe also. So, and we did a Pushpa also for that matter. So you never know how and when things will change. You just have to, recognize the opportunities, grab them, but at the same time, just be patient and be disciplined and keep doing your work.
Yeah, and like as you mentioned, Iqbal, mein, you started as a leading actor, and then you did a couple of films as a leading actor as well. But then there were films like Om Shanti Om, where you played the friend to the leading actor. Then there were Houseful, Golmaal, where you were a part of an ensemble that worked better commercially.
Yeah.
So somewhere, do you feel that the mainstream commercial cinema kind of stopped looking at you after a point as a leading face?
Yes, that could be one of the reasons, but I'll tell you, like, of course, we are not gods. So, and I also don't consider them to be, those films to be my mistakes, because, they happened at a time when I was extremely new to the industry. I was hugely inspired by all those people that I worked with later, so I was in awe of most of them, whether it is Shah Rukh Khan or Farah Khan, and then getting an opportunity to work with them, obviously for a guy like me, it was a huge thing at that point in time. And for me, what always mattered was your work will get you more work. But sometimes, yeah, the opposite tends to happen, that this work probably will not get you the kind of work that you're looking at. But having said that, I felt that this is the thing that I want to do right now. My gut is telling me to be a part of this film, a film like Om Shanti Om, which is still talked about, right? I mean, the chemistry of those two friends is still talked about. So I don't think that was a mistake in any way, or neither do I regret my decisions. Yes, some people might have seen it in a different light and felt कि आज when I look back, they might have felt कि अरे दोस्त का रोल क्यों किया? जब ये लीड रोल्स कर रहा था तो शाहरुख के दोस्त का रोल करने की क्या ज़रूरत थी? But I never had these thoughts in my mind when I was doing these films. Or for a film like Golmaal, I mean, it has worked brilliantly as a film, and also it has worked brilliantly for all of us. Today, when you see all those dialogues being turned into reels or memes and things like that, obviously the reach has been phenomenal. Yes, it might have hampered a couple of things in my career, but again, I don't have any regrets, because first of all, I never thought that I would reach till here, So, again, going back to my basics and where I started from, yes, I was ambitious. Yes, I wanted to be aspirational. But at the same time, I somewhere knew my limitations. Having said all of this, I still did a film like Kaun Pravin Tambe, which was a lead. There are other films that I'm doing which are again leads. There's a thriller that I've done with Soham Shah, which is called Kartam Bhuktam. So you never know how things will change here, because now look at the whole OTT scenario today. You know, we don't know most of those people, but they just spring out of somewhere and you see their performance and you're completely blown by their performance and you feel he's the next big thing. For example, Pratik Gandhi. Pratik Gandhi does a series like Scam, and today Pratik Gandhi is doing some major films as well. So you never know how things will change in the industry. I completely believe in destiny, and I completely believe in the fact that you just have to keep working and giving your best. You never know how things will change.
When Kaun Pravin Tambe came, a lot of people did not even know about, as people did not know about Pravin Tambe, a lot of people did not know that about the film as well.
Correct.
But once it released, its reach increased. It's because of the word of mouth as well.
Yeah.
And while there are not certain specific numbers like box office figures have to measure the success, you still get to know about a film doing well when it stays on top for a long time.
Yeah.
And that was something that happened with Kaun Pravin Tambe. Do you feel like OTT kind of gave a new push and kind of a fuel to your career as well?
Absolutely, without a doubt. Without a doubt. No two ways about it. Because, and the best part is, once the film released and people saw the film, 90% of the people who called me or messaged me said, यार इसको ना थिएट्रिकल होना चाहिए था. So आज जब हम लोग ये बातें करते हैं ना कि अभी OTT आ गया है तो थिएट्रिकल का पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है, फिल्में चल नहीं रही, लोग जाएंगे नहीं जाएंगे, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. हम लोग खामखा डर रहे हैं, बिकॉज थिएटर्स पहले भी थे, आज भी है, आगे भी रहेंगे. सिमिलरली आपका OTT आज आया है, आगे भी चलता है. दीज फॉर्मेट्स विल कीप चेंजिंग, बट your क्या कहते हैं, traditional formats are not going to go out of form or out of date, because theatre viewing is an experience. And मतलब there are different films of different genres that have worked, you know, I mean, whether it is a Pathan or a Drishyam or a Kashmir Files or your Kantara, which was a dubbed film, or your Pushpa or your RRR. So it has been varied. Of course, some of them, or rather most of them, have been big ticket films, but at the same time, Kartikeya 2 also was some film which people spoke about and said, "Arey yaar, isko jaake dekhna chahiye." So again, Drishyam 2 was not considered a big film, but a more concept wali film. It was a sequel to a film which had not really worked in Hindi, the first part when it released. You know, it worked more in the Malayalam space. But the part 2 worked phenomenal. So ऐसा नहीं है कि लोग थिएटर में जाएंगे नहीं. If they like the concept, it's as good as how they used to react to a trailer earlier. कि trailer अच्छा लगा, ये picture जाके देखनी है. Simple as that. So I don't think there's reason for us to just get scared of it. We should release it. Having said that, yes, OTT has given a new lease, because somewhere the producers also, you know, get some confidence कि जैसे पहले Iqbal was क्या कहते हैं, was a bold move on part of Subhash sir, you know, to sanction that film and commission that film and चलो ये करो. एक नया लड़का कोई आ रहा है जिसको कोई जानता नहीं है. उसको नसीर सर थे, गिरीश सर थे, बट इकबाल कौन है तो कोई अननोन फेस है. अब उसके साथ पिक्चर ये रिलीज़ करनी है. लाइक जब पोस्टर्स रिलीज करने थे तो उन्होंने कहा कि इसके चेहरे को देख के कौन आएगा थिएटर में, तो इसका चेहरा मत दिखाओ, इसका चेहरा ऐसे कर दो ऊपर. यू नो, पिक्चर में ताकत होगी तो लोग आएंगे. एंड विच हैपेंड बिकॉज द फिल्म वॉज पावरफुल, सो पीपल केम. एंड द सेम थिंग एज एवरी हीरो वॉज अ न्यू कमर एट सम पॉइंट इन टाइम, राइट. तो उनकी पिक्चर एक चली. So similarly, I think you just have to make films and keep releasing them. But yes, OTT has not only given a new lease of life to most actors, but it is also a format which is here to stay. And there is a certain audience and which is growing, which prefers OTT. ऐसे कि ठीक है OTT पे हम देख लेंगे. तो उसके वजह से मुझे ऐसा भी लगता है कि पायरेसी भी थोड़ी कम हो गई है, which is a good thing. जो पहले पायरेसी में चला जाता था, अब लीगलाइज्ड वो OTT पे चीज़ें आती है. सो आई थिंक इट्स डेफिनेटली न्यू लीज. एंड यू नो, आई एम हैप्पी दैट बिकॉज ऑफ अ प्लेटफॉर्म लाइक Disney Hotstar we could make a film like Kaun Pravin Tambe, which was named Kaun Pravin Tambe because of the reactions that we kept getting while we were shooting the film. Like when we were telling film that it is based on the life of Pravin Tambe, people would say Kaun Pravin Tambe, you know. And we said, so Neeraj came up with this idea कि अगर ऐसा लोग पूछ रहे हैं तो उसी को टाइटल बना दो. let them ask कि अच्छा कौन प्रवीण तांबे, क्या है ये film? Let them watch the film and then decide. So today, not only has the film reached out to millions, but even Praveen Tambe has become a known face, a household face everywhere.
And I was checking your filmography now. I saw that you have worked continuously since 2005. 2005. There were 2 projects before that, but I don't know how much of it. But Iqbal se people knew about you.
Yeah.
So from 2000 you have been working continuously. But was there ever a time in between where you had to kind of think about where the next paycheck is going to come from?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, most actors have gone through that. Yes, today you have different avenues of earning revenue, but when you are completely dependent on films, and it is only for this reason that for the longest time, till I still remember till the day of Iqbal's release, my mom continuously kept telling me that why don't you look for a job? Why don't you look for a steady, constant job which will give you a paycheck at the end of every month, And now you're just married. How are you going to feed your family, your wife? And it is only when she saw the film that she said, okay, so I guess now you're going to be doing this only, right? So I said, yes, this is what I love to do. But having said that, there are a lot of uncertainties. A lot of people try their luck here. Some make it, most of them don't. But having said that, there is a certain passion that you have. And what Praveen Tambe has taught me is 2 things. That, one, age is just a number. And second, that if you keep consistently doing something that you believe in, there is going to be a day when you will get what you want, that your dreams are going to get true. So you just have to wait for that day. But that period when things are not working, when, like you said, when you don't know where your next paycheck is going to come from, and there are so many people dependent on you, what do you do? But then, I guess, destiny takes you 2 different ways. You just have to be open about certain things at that point in time. So, if you remain shut to certain ideas, then it becomes difficult to survive. But otherwise, this industry or nature will always provide you with something, provided you are willing to accept it, provided you are open to taking it in, then nature will always give you something. That is what my experience has been. कि कहीं ना कहीं से कुछ ना कुछ हो जाता था, कोई आता था, help out कर देता था, पैसे आ जाते थे, and काम चल जाता था, So yeah, I completely believe in destiny and the fact that nature will always come to help you.
Were there points where you had to kind of deal with financial instability and kind of financial complications as well? Because as you said, there was a family also you had to take care of. It's not just you.
Yes, of course. I mean, like when you don't know where your paycheck is going to come from and when it is going to come from, what is the next kind of work that you're going to do. So obviously, you start thinking about, you start doubting whether you are in the right profession, whether you should do something else. But like I said, there were times when someone would come up and help you out, or out of the blue there used to be some kind of project that would come your way. Certain projects which I did, they never released for whatever reason. But at that point in time, those helped me survive. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, okay, if you have to do certain things, and who decides that this is the right thing to do or this is not the right thing to do? Who decides? As long as you're not harming anyone, you're not hurting anyone, you're not doing anything illegal. If you're working for a particular thing that you love, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. So certain films might work, certain things might work, certain might not. But that is not the end of your life or end of your career. And your work is only a part of your life, right? It is not your life. So you have to learn to take it in that stride and be a little more chill about the whole thing. Do not take your career so seriously that it starts affecting your family life or your life per se. So yes, you learn these things in your journey. At that point in time, yes, there are certain very rash decisions that we made, or there were certain provisions that we made for a rainy day, and we had to probably exhaust all of that when times were not really great for us. But it's okay, it's part and parcel, and that's the reason I go back again to someone like Mr. Bachchan, that he was, technically, or rather whatever stories we heard, was like he was completely down and out. but he rose back like a phoenix, and today look at him. So you just have to be patient about certain things and keep working. That's it.
True. And you mentioned your family. Now, I feel like a lot is spoken and discussed about an actor's struggles, but I feel like their family is also the one who struggles with them. Because they have to kind of see their family member being down and out and still be that support system that lifts them up. For you, your wife's support, how instrumental has it been from getting you out of the dark phases of your career?
No, I mean, I credit her completely. If you find me looking 32, again, it is only thanks to her, because somewhere, and that's the reason I keep saying that your family support is very important, because their line of encouragement makes a world of difference. So when you doubt yourself, and when someone else tells you that, why are you doubting yourself? It's just a phase and it will pass. You do not doubt yourself. Again, you're the boy who did Iqbal. You are Iqbal, and if Iqbal can do it, so can you. So you just have to be there, hang in there, do not get frustrated, because yes, an actor tends to get irritated, frustrated, angry, all of the above, and then where do you get it out? You tend to get it out on your family, right? But it's only because my wife especially was understanding enough, and she said, okay, fine, I am your whatever sounding board or hit board or whatever it is, it's okay, no issue. As long as you get it out of your system, it is better. Don't keep it in. It's like, I saw one video the other day where a professor asked his students, what do you think this glass of water weighs? So someone said 12 ounces, 14 ounces, whatever. And he says, no, the weight is proportional to the time that you can keep holding it. So the longer you hold it, the heavier it becomes. Because, so similarly, whatever your frustrations or worries are, the longer you keep holding on to them, they keep eating inside you. So it's better that you get it out of your system in some way or the other. Some people yell it out, some people fight, some people work out, some people do swimming, some people do sports and things like that. So luckily I had all those options available to me, and yes, my family kept supporting. So it's all really thanks to them. And it's not that it has ended, because today are good times, tomorrow could be another bad times, So they know what exactly they are into, and they keep supporting them.
And like, you have worked with some of the biggest stars out there, like Shah Rukh Khan, Akshay Kumar, John Abraham, and so many. And while those films have worked and brought you recognition as well, somewhere do you feel that because you played kind of a supporting part or a parallel lead across them, that also kind of hindered the growth of you as a leading face?
Could have, you never know. Honestly, probably that must have been a factor. But like I said, when I did those films, like Golmaal, I did because I loved the story and I wanted to be a part of a franchise like Golmaal. Om Shanti Om, I had my own reasons to do that film, and I just wanted to work with Shah Rukh and Farah. And I said, whatever the role is, I will do that film. So my take on the entire thing has been completely different. I am okay being a part of this industry in whichever capacity. Mera aisa bilkul can. And today, I mean, if you look at my filmography and the ratio of hits to flops, very few actors can really claim of that kind of a ratio. So I am not bothered, as long as my people love me, as long as my audience is with me, I don't care whether I'm doing a lead part or a supportive part, as long as they are happy with my work. Because eventually I'm doing this work for them. And if they are not going to be happy with the kind of work that I do, then the whole thing is pointless, So I really don't care कि मैं lead कर रहा हूँ, मैं बड़ी picture कर रहा हूँ, छोटी picture कर रहा हूँ. As long as they are happy. I mean, if someone comes and tells me कि पुष्पा में तेरी आवाज़ सुनी और स्क्रीन पे ऐसा लगा कि तू ही है, मेरे लिए बड़ी पिक्चर हो गई. If my people, if my audience comes and tells me that we loved it so much that somehow, after a point we started visualizing you on screen, तो हो गई ना यार मेरे लिए तो बड़ी पिक्चर. So it is really, your perspective of how you see what you're doing. And as long as you're proud of your work and you're happy with your work, that is all that matters. Because everything else, if you're unhappy with one thing, then you're going to be unhappy with 10,000 things. But if you're happy in your space and what you're doing, you're going to be happy with every little thing that happens.
So are we gonna hear your voice in Pushpa 2 as well?
I hope so. We just did one teaser for Alluji's birthday, and there was only one line that I dubbed for in the end, where it was Abrul Pushpa ka. So that was the only line that I dubbed for, but it was more a birthday gift from the team to Alluji. I guess though they are still shooting the film. So whenever it happens, maybe this year end or next year, of course I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah. And initially I called you a laughter machine. It's because like comedy has kind of been associated with you a lot. Even though some of your most poignant performances have come in the intense genre, but comedy has been associated with you for so long. You feel like it has become a comfort zone for you? Or do you sometimes feel it also kind of got stereotyped a little?
See, I mean, you know, getting recognized for comedy at a time when you started with a film like Iqbal, which is a serious film, then you're part of a film like Door, which again was a very serious film. But of course, I was doing comedy in the whole thing. But from there, where producers and directors doubted whether you would be able to do comedy or not, to a point where you're known only for your comedy films, has been a long journey. But yes, at the same time, you tend to get a little typecast in those things. But then the challenge for you is to break that and do something else. And that happened again with Kaun Pravin Tambe and something like Pushpa also, for that matter. So now the kind of films that I've done, none of it is comedy. So one is a thriller, one is a rom-com. It's a romantic triangle kind of story, and one is a biopic based on Indira's life. So none of them are really comedies. So yes, I mean, these things keep changing, and that's the best part about it. You know, how do you break that typecast or break that mold and get into something else?
Yeah, like I know Emergency has you play Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee.
Yeah,
that's a big responsibility.
That's a huge responsibility, and trust me, I'm extremely nervous and scared till the time the film doesn't release and I don't get audience reaction for it. Of course, I'm going to be very jittery, and there are going to be butterflies in my stomach. Yeah.
But is there anything happening on Golmaal 5? Because it was announced about 2 years ago.
2 years
we are still
ago.
waiting for a development.
No, even we are waiting for that development. So honestly, our captain Rohit is the one who will decide when he wants to go on floors with Golmaal 5. Yes, I think he has plans, and he. Like he mentioned in a couple of his interviews that till the time he's doing films, he would like to keep doing Golmaals. So we would also love to keep doing Golmaals as long as we can. But whenever it happens, I'm sure that, it's going to be one more fun ride for everyone. So it's been 7 years now. I hope it happens next year because there was a gap of 7 years between the third and the fourth part. It's already been 7 years now. I think it's time that we do our next one. Yes.
Yeah, but and I feel like he has become the master of universes. Firstly with the cop universe, then with Circus, he made a comedy universe as well.
Yeah,
he's connecting everything.
Yeah, I guess all of them for that matter, whether it is YRF doing
spy universe,
a spy universe, Rohit doing, let's say, a cop universe. So yeah, I mean, Golmaal again has probably a universe of its own. So we wouldn't be surprised if there is Simba also, and Joy and Roy from Circus also joining into the Golmaal series. So that'll be great fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be great fun. And the work that you are doing, Shreyas, like it, as I said, it's not just for the sake of saying it because I'm interviewing you, but your journey has been inspiring in a lot of ways.
Thank you.
It has actually shown what a person coming from the outside can achieve.
Yeah.
It has been but as a person who is living that journey, you have to deal with a lot, and the way you have done it is very commendable.
Thank you.
I'm not getting the right words, but
Thank you.
This is the least I can say, that it has been commendable to see you do that. And the way you have come out of the dark times, the way you have kind of pulled yourself back, it has been inspirational.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for doing that, firstly. And
God has been kind. To be very honest, God has been really kind, and He has given me much more than what I really deserve. And like I said, I'm just happy with the journey. Even the dark times were essential for me to understand certain drawbacks that I had about myself, certain weaknesses that I had about myself. And I'm trying to work on those and trying to make sure that, my weaknesses turn into my strengths. But overall, I think God has been kind, and my audience has always been very supportive and loyal. So somewhere, it is also their faith that kept me going, that he will bounce back one day. हो जाएगा, हो जाएगा. When there are certain trollers on social media who tell you that, हाँ भाई अभी गुलमाल आ गई, अभी तेरे को नौकरी मिली, अभी चल, अभी नेक्स्ट आने तक तो तू आराम कर ले, ओके. सो माई ओनली आंसर टू देम इज़ माई वर्क. बिकॉज आप उनको बोल के, जिनका चेहरा भी नहीं है, उनके साथ लड़ के आप क्या करोगे? आपका काम ही. एंड द बेस्ट पार्ट दैट हैज स्टार्टेड हैपनिंग इज देयर आर माई फैंस who started answering them back, rather than me saying anything. There was something someone said again on Golmaal thing, and he said, "Are you an idiot? Do you know who you're talking about? Do you know that he's the same person who did Kaun Pravin Tambe? Do you know he's the same person who did Pushpa? So what kind of failures are you talking about? Look at the successes now." So I think as long as your fans are there with you, you need not worry about anything.
Yeah. And your fans have supported you throughout. They have helped you pull you out of those times.
Yes.
But even though at those times, were there ever any lowest moment like where you kind of thought about maybe I should think about a different profession?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you start doubting and you start thinking, am I in the right profession? I need to leave this and do something else. But then you realize you cannot do anything else. This is the only thing you can do. So you cannot go anywhere. You're in a way stuck here. But that's a great thing, because then, it's like, I was telling someone that I never thought of any alternative career, because I just wanted to be in this thing. I just wanted to be in the industry. I just wanted to be in this profession that I so love. So I never thought of, or I never worked towards having any alternate career, is because then probably I wouldn't have given this 100%. Because I didn't have anything else to fall back on, I gave all that I had to this one, and that's the reason I've reached here.
Yeah. And I'm very glad that you felt that stuck, because of that we have got something like Kaun Pravin Tambe, and we have got so many amazing performances out of you, and they are going to come in bundles because you are just 32, so it will happen for a long time. So thank you for that. It has been a pleasure seeing you on the screen and off the screen. You are much more amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for giving me this chance. Wishing you lots and lots of love for everything you do in future.
Thank you. Lovely.
I hope you had a great time.
Oh, I enjoyed it. I completely, thoroughly enjoyed it. Hi, this is Shreyas Talpade, and you're watching me on Bollywood Bubble.